This is the fourth video in the 10-part Login to Firebase with SwiftUI's playlist series. In this video, we're going to add and test the SignIn with Apple button. What Apple provides us with is a UIKit view, and we're using SwiftUI. Well, there are lots of great tutorials available on how to create a SignIn with Apple button using a wrapper for the provided UIKit SignIn with Apple button. And this wrapper is the UI representable protocol. It's not necessary to know how to create this from scratch, and I'll provide you with the necessary code. I'll leave some links in the notes below if you want to investigate this further. What is important is for us to be able to connect the authentication process with Firebase, and we'll do this in a later video. So download the resources folder for this tutorial, and a link is in the notes below. Once unzipped, drag the SignIn with AppleView to your Views folder. Don't worry about any warnings right now. We'll fix those later. The SignIn with AppleView imports authentication services and creates a view that is a UI view representable. We start with our environment object so we can update and store our user credentials and login state. A UI view representable protocol requires that we implement some required functions. We have make UI view and update UI view, along with a make coordinator function. In the make UI view function, we create a SignIn button that will call the coordinator's didTapButton function. Apple allows us to customize the button color, the corner radius, and text to suit our app designs in the following ways. You have 9 different options, and these are all done in the AS authorization app ID button. If we remove the optional arguments, the default would be an authorization type of .signin, and the button style would be .black. As you can see, the other options are .signup for type and .white for style. The coordinator will allow us to deal with delegates, data source, and other UIKit stuff, and it's the bridge between the UIKit and SwiftUI views, and there are lots of documentation available as I mentioned before. Within the coordinator class is our action for our button, and it's here that we'll be adding some additional code that's required to sign into Firebase. The button sends a request to the authorization controller, and it's here that we'll complete the authorization process in a later video. A lot of the code here is copied directly from the Firebase site, so you should definitely review the notes there for completion's sake. I've separated out some of this code to a service class that we'll add soon. We can now return to our login view and finish the UI there by adding in our new SignIn with AppleView button. We do this by embedding our existing view in a VStack and keeping the sheet modifier outside. Within the VStack, we can add SignIn with AppleView and set a frame with a width of 200 and a height of 50. And we'll follow this with a spacer so that our stack gets pushed up to the top of our login screen. Now we need to enable SignIn with Apple for our app. And we can do this by going to our target and the Sign In and Capabilities tab. Here, all we need to do is tap the plus button and search for SignIn with Apple and add it. Now we're going to test this on the simulator. But notice when I tap the SignIn with Apple button, it's asking me to go to the settings and sign in with my Apple ID. Well, I can do that. Don't bother merging. And return to the application and tap on the Continue with Apple button once more, and you'll get the sign-in sheet. You can share your email or hide your email. And when you tap on Continue, since you're on a simulator, you'll have to enter your password and log in. If you're on a device, you'd use the other authentication services that your device allows, such as Face ID. This forces a crash because we still need to complete the authentication process, and we'll cover that over the next few videos. Whether you're testing on a device or on the simulator, you can revoke your sign-in with Apple authorization on your account. And we should do this until we get a successful sign-in and registration with the Firestore database. So go to Settings, Your Account, Password and Security, and Apps using your Apple ID, and delete our apps authentication. In the next video, we'll configure our Firebase account to connect our application so we can log in to Firebase and create a record in our Firestore collection. Videos for this series are being posted as they're created, so be sure to subscribe to my channel and tap the bell to be notified when new ones are posted, not only for this playlist, but for all of my SwiftUI videos.